I don't care if I...
Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Clayton Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. Muncy, a walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
Give me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back.
What is the Dodgers' ultimate lineup? Should Shohei Ohtani be the Dodgers' permanent leadoff hitter? We got the latest on Garett, Crochet, who the Dodgers will face tonight. Could the Dodgers trade for him at the deadline? Also, Tyler Glasnow. Is he the leader for the National League Cy Young? And should they load manage him? Got some injury updates, all that more coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
Dodgers win.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
Grand slam. It's a double for Freddie. Monkey magic.
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. This is the most anticipated season in Dodgers history.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation? Doug McKain here, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Everything you need to know about your boys in blue in less than an hour. Of course, first things first, if you haven't yet subscribed to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and also comment Go Otani down below so you're eligible to win our Shohei Ohtani Gray Road Authentic once we hit 95,000 subscribers. We're going to work on some giveaways before then, though. We'll talk about that. Noel's working on the hats, so you guys can bug Noel for the hats, our social media guru. We'll talk to in a second. And also, we start every episode of Dodgers Dugout Live with the Dodgers Nation poll question of the show. And I asked you guys over on the X, do you approve of the Dodgers City Connect uniforms, the polarizing Dodgers City Connect uniforms? Did they do it for you? Well, I asked you guys, and it ended at, we had 58. We had, was it? Oh, there you go. 58%. What was it? 56? What did it end up at? Can't see it here. 56. 56 said approve, yes, and 41% said no. That's actually higher than I thought. So good thing the Dodgers and Nike hired some bots. I see that, which is pretty cool to see. But honestly, we'll talk about those in a second. We'll get our reactions to those jerseys now that we've seen them in action. We'll talk about that here. And also let us know down below in the comment section, where are you representing Dodgers Nation from today? Give me those cities, give me those zip codes. I know I had someone in the comments saying that they quit their job just to watch this show on Friday. We appreciate you. Maybe we can get you a job here at Dodgers Nation. Also, like I said, comment Go Otani down below. And also, every episode of Dodgers Nation, the Dodgers Dugout Live episode, is brought to you by our friends over at Bet Online. Bet Online is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs this season, from baseball, golf, soccer, right up to all the top fights in UFC and MMA and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get it on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, for your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, the game starts here. So diving into the comments, we got "they look fine. I prefer the good home jerseys," but yeah, that's from John. Chris says, "I'm having Dodgers Nation for lunch." That's a comment of the show. By the way, any comments of the show, you're going to see one of these. A little comment of the show action. Any fire takes, any hot takes, you're going to see one of these. And of course, we have super producer Antonio, he's looking for all your fire takes down below. If he sees a take that he wants to feature on the screen, he will do it just like we have right here, watching from Rome, New York. Let's go Dodgers. Let's go Dodgers. That's from Joseph. So he's looking for your fire takes. He's looking for your comments of the show. And our super social media guru, Mr. Noel Sanchez, goes by the name of Young Lotto. You'll see him as well. We got a social segment we're going to dive into. Should the Dodgers get a new hit Selly? A lot of people want to see a new hit Selly. And then who's that man in between them? If you want to know everything about the Los Angeles Dodgers, I know a guy. His name is Mr. Noah Cameras. You, of course, know him from his appearances during spring training, where he was a fixture on this show. Noah, it's great to have you back here on Dodgers Dugout Live, my man.
It's an absolute pleasure, D-Mac. I love being on this show. I love being able to talk to you. I love being around my friends over here. This is my favorite show. I like to watch it every day, and I'm honored to be sitting in this seat with the camera on me.
Noah's in that camera, rocking some brand new Air Force Ones. Hey, man, he's not messing around, man. I love it. But let's dive right into it. Now, of course, every show on Monday, we've got our 10 big takeaways. Anytime you hear a takeaway that's positive, you're going to see one of these. A little Let's Go Dodgers. So here's 10 takeaways, things I liked, things I didn't like in the world of Dodger baseball. Anything that I didn't like, you're going to hear one of these. Daniel Macy, D-Mac for president. Craig Osterberg says, hi, Noah. Dodger fan from Kentucky, Ben Meza. What's up, everybody? That's from Noah Cameras right to my left. We got Torrance in the house. Some talk about Yamamoto, so we'll talk about that too. So keep commenting away, but let's dive into the first topic, and that, of course, the leadoff today is Shohei Ohtani is unreal. Shohei Ohtani is ridiculous. The big question is, should he remain the leadoff hitter even when Mookie Betts comes back? Should you keep him in that leadoff spot? We're going to talk about that here for the biggest story in Dodger baseball, the leadoff. So June Tawny is back. June Tawny is real. June Tawny is something that I've never experienced as a fan of baseball, in that it's one player in 1 month that's better in that month than any player in the history of baseball. Shohei Ohtani has a career 760 slugging percentage for the month of June. That is a higher slugging percentage for any player in any month in the history of Major League Baseball. Go get Barry Bonds. Go get Babe Ruth. Go get Hank Aaron. Go get Willie Mays. Go get any player for any month, and Shohei Ohtani's career 760 slugging percentage. That 760 is the highest for any month in Major League Baseball. And Shohei Ohtani, since he took over that leadoff spot, he has put this team on his back. He is hitting like the rent is due at that leadoff spot, and he's pretty much showing off at the leadoff at this point. Ohtani made 30 plate appearances last week. He reached base 17 times. 7 of his 11 hits were for extra bases. He left the yard 4 times in 6 games. In his last 7 games, Shohei Ohtani has scored at least 1 run, had an extra base hit, and an RBI. That's the longest streak where a player has done that in Dodgers franchise history. Pedro Guerrero did a 6-game streak of that variety back in 1985, and Carl Furillo achieved that back in 1949. So he is breaking records as a Dodger hitter this month. Not bad for an injured pitcher, if you ask me. He's slashing .458, .567, slugging 1,083 with 4 bombs, 11 RBI, and 6 walks in 6 games, batting in the leadoff spot. And Friday, it was kind of like Angels Ohtani, right? Shohei Ohtani reached base 4 times, he hit a home run, and the team still lost. In fact, I saw in the LA Times that they actually had a saying for this in Japan when he was on the Angels. It was now A, and that stood for furthermore Angels. And basically they would use that phrase because anytime Shohei Ohtani would have a big game and they would lose, they would just have that phrase. Now, I'm not so sure if the Japanese media used that phrase after the Dodgers lost on Friday, but it was kind of like what we saw, right? You didn't have anyone else step up. The bottom of the lineup really wasn't coming through. You just didn't have enough production around him, but that all changed on Sunday. The bottom of the lineup, they came through. Saturday with Gavin Lux, he hits a home run. Biggio had a couple of hits, and what that does is it takes a little pressure off Shohei Ohtani. It puts some run-producing opportunities in front of him, and I think that what we saw from Shohei Ohtani this weekend is, one, you can put a trash bag on the guy and it'll make it look good, because that City Connect actually looked good on Shohei Ohtani. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, I don't care what this guy's wearing. He's going to make it look fantastic. And yeah, you go and perform like that, you're going to feel good about that. But look, I know that every fan out there is going to judge this team based on what they do in October. If this team doesn't win the World Series, it's going to be considered a colossal failure. But having said that, let's enjoy this June Tani. Let's enjoy watching a player that is at the peak of his powers achieve greatness on a nightly basis, on a daily basis, going out there and crushing bombs at a historic rate for this team. When you look at the sound, it does sound like a shotgun went off. The sound off his bat is unlike anything we've ever heard. And I think it's important to just embrace the summer months of Ohtani. Look, I said a couple weeks ago, we're going to have a Dodgers summer. We're also having our first summer with Shohei Ohtani in Dodger blue. You got the Olympics starting up in Paris, right? You got to embrace greatness. Like when we saw Usain Bolt run a 9.63 in the 100-meter dash in 2012 in London. When Simone Biles did the double layout with the half twist. When Michael Phelps had the clean sweep, won 8 out of 8 gold medals back in 2008. That's the level of greatness that we're seeing with Shohei Ohtani, but it's not just a couple weeks out of the summer. It's for half the year. It's for half the year in a 162-game season. So it's not lost on me that we're able to witness this in real time. We're able to witness all-time greatness, and this week was another reminder. Now, let's not forget, too, that Shohei Ohtani was mired in one of the biggest slumps that he's had for this season. For a couple weeks, he was hitting around 200. You weren't seeing as many home runs. Some people were wondering if the hamstring was bothering him. Well, now you've seen him not chase at those pitches out of the zone. The pitch recognition has been better. The stance has been more stout as far as his lower body. The hitting coaches will tell you that that's one of the most important parts of his success when he's being consistent, is that his feet is dug into the ground where there's not a lot of movement, right? When he's firm in his lower body, well, that's the big difference. And Dave Roberts said about Mookie Betts, and since he's gone down and Shohei Ohtani stepping up, that Ohtani got back to a good place where he was swinging at strikes, the right strikes for him, and not chasing it as much. Then just naturally, he went into the leadoff spot and continued what he's been doing. When he's in the zone and when he's hitting to the big part of the field and getting the ball up in the hitting zone, there's no one even close to as good as he is. And yes, I know Aaron Judge would like to have a word. And yes, Aaron Judge, I want to have him tested, not for steroids, just to see if he's a real human being. But having said that, Doc is right. When Otani is getting the fastballs up and in, when Otani isn't chasing, this is the best hitter on the planet, and that's what we saw this week. Now, the big question I want to ask you guys down below in the comment section is, would you want to see Shohei Ohtani remain at the leadoff spot even when Mookie Betts returns? Because Mookie, he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. That's going to give Shohei Ohtani and this Dodgers offense enough of a sample size to see how this offense looks with Shohei Ohtani. But one thing I want to remind you is that if you just bring back Mookie Betts and put him at the leadoff spot, you know what we wouldn't get a chance to see? We wouldn't get a chance to see this lineup with Ohtani hitting leadoff and Mookie batting second. So I do think that they owe it to themselves to evaluate this next 2 months, see how the bottom of the lineup performs, and to see how the production continues with Shohei Ohtani. Because there's a couple of ways to think about this. Now, if you go back to Mookie Betts at the leadoff spot And then you have Shohei Ohtani batting second. Well, what are the pros of batting second? Because for 50, 70, 80 years, the traditional thought was to put your best hitter, your best power hitter at the 3 spot, right? Your best power hitter gives them an opportunity to drive in runs when your leadoff hitter and your number 2 hitter get on base. Well, that's not the case anymore, because if you bat your best hitter second, you can get them 50 more plate appearances around that per year, right? So when you bat him second, you get more plate appearances. I mean, how many times have you watched the game and you're late in that game and you're trying to make a comeback and you say to yourself, oh, just get to the 3 hitter, just get to the 4 hitter, and the game ends, right? That's not like that now in Major League Baseball. You bat your best hitter second, and that gives them more positions to get on base and drive in runs over the course of a season. So that's the other thing. And you look at the leadoff spot, though. I mean, if you can get to that leadoff spot and Shohei Ohtani is still producing at this level, well, the number 2 guy only gets around 15 to 20 plate appearances less than the leadoff hitter, but the leadoff guy can get even more than the number 2 hitter. So if you put Shohei Ohtani at leadoff, theoretically, you give him even more opportunities to have plate appearances. And does he have a high on-base percentage? The answer is yes. Does he have a better ability to be a dynamic base runner than Mookie Betts? The answer is also yes. He's a faster player than Mookie Betts at this stage of his career. Mookie's on base is higher than Ohtani's. Definitely want to point that out. But really, the more value of your hitter comes from his on-base percentage, then the more inclined you are to bat him at leadoff. So if your player has a higher on-base, you want to bat him leadoff, right? So for 99% of teams out there, it's a no-brainer. Sure, let's continue Mookie Betts at the leadoff spot. Or you go to Shohei Ohtani. But you have 2 of the best in the sport when it comes to hitting, and you have those options. Now, I don't think they're going to move Ohtani off the leadoff spot. Ultimately, I think that Mookie Betts is most comfortable hitting leadoff. And let's not forget that Mookie is also on a 12-year, $365 million contract. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is Ohtani's franchise, but it's still Mookie's team. And it's an easy conversation to say, okay, let's bat Mookie back at leadoff and let's just go back to where things are. But I think that if you were to go back to where you were, what I would do is I would bat Mookie leadoff, bat Shohei second, and instead of batting Freddie Freeman third, I would move him to cleanup and then move Will Smith, who's kind of slumping at the moment, in the 3 hole. So if you're going to go back to the status quo at the 1-2 with Mookie batting first and Ohtani batting second, my dream lineup in that situation would be Mookie batting leadoff, Shohei batting second, Will Smith batting third, Freddie Freeman batting cleanup, then Teoscar Hernandez batting 5th, Max Muncy batting 6th, Pages batting 7th, Hayward batting 8th, and Lux batting 9th. That is in the event that there are no trades being made. But if you were to keep Shohei at the top, then I think that you have some mixture of that. And what that would allow you to do, the biggest benefit of Ohtani batting leadoff is he's batting leadoff, and then Mookie's batting second, and then Freddie's batting third. So what you do is you break up that lefty-lefty matchup, right? The Dodgers, they want to stagger as much as possible. They want to go left, right, left, right, left, right. That way, if the opposing manager wants to go to the bullpen and set up a matchup, a lefty-lefty matchup, they don't have the platoon advantage in that situation. So if you're the Dodgers, why would you want to give the opposing manager any type of added bonus when it comes to strategy? So I think that ultimately you want to break up Freddie and Ohtani in the lineup, and either you do that by putting Mookie in the 2 hole and batting Shohei leadoff, and then the other alternative way is you bat Freddie cleanup. So there's a lot of modern analytics that say too that the cleanup hitter is more important than the number 3 hitter too. So the beauty of all this is that with all this talent at the top of the lineup, right, the MV3, the Mount Crushmore, you can't pitch around these guys. And I remember my granddad back in the day, he used to always tell me, why don't they bat Barry Bonds at leadoff? Because they were walking Barry Bonds essentially every at bat, or he was getting a home run or a hit or an extra base hit. That's how it felt, right? So if you have Shohei Ohtani batting leadoff, you're essentially almost guaranteed to have someone getting a walk, someone getting a home run, getting an extra base hit more often than not. So it gives you that opportunity. But these are champagne problems, right? These are first world problems that the Dodgers are going to have. And what we need to see, though, is a longer sample of Shohei Ohtani batting leadoff. And then two, one of the other big factors as well is how does the bottom of the lineup perform? If the 7, 8, 9 hitters, if they trend in the right direction and they give Shohei Ohtani run scoring opportunities, then you can justify it. But look, for me, I love the idea, Shohei, leadoff, show off. I like it, but I think ultimately they'll go back to Mookie Betts. Dave Roberts was asked about it, and he kind of smiled and laughed and made it seem as though it was going to be a no-brainer. But hey, if Shohei Ohtani essentially wins the MVP as the leadoff, which he could do in the next 2 months, then it's going to be a conversation that they're going to ultimately have. Noah, bring you in. Noah Cameras.
D-Mac, what's up?
Noah, so how do you feel about this? I mean, where you at? I mean, because I know, like, I'm not saying you're Mr. Recency Bias.
You know me.
But you get really hyped, right? I know. I mean, are you?
Shohei's all the way back right now.
Shohei's all the way back.
Say.
Now, do you want to see him all the way back at 2 or at leadoff when Mookie returns?
I would say I like Mookie in the leadoff spot. I think Mookie has done really great things as a leadoff hitter. I mean, he's kind of climbing up those ranks of the leadoff home runs. He gets on base. You know, he also had a really good, I forget if it was August or September last year, but he had a really good, you know, one of the last months of the year. So I do want to see Mookie back in the leadoff spot, although I do like the idea of going left, right, left at the top of the lineup. But I think Mookie at the leadoff spot is what worked for a while. And I do think, you know, if Shohei always gets hot in June, then he can get this slug going. Why not have that slug when somebody's on base?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I love that. I mean, you're absolutely correct. Mookie Betts was absolutely ridiculous in August last season at a 1355 OPS, 51 hits in August. But what do we see too? He actually tailed off in September and in October. But yeah, I agree with you. I think you don't want to get too carried away. And it almost feels like a Buzz Lightyear Woody situation, right? Where Ohtani's Buzz Lightyear and Mookie's Woody. No, hey, Mookie is still one of the best players on the planet, and he's established himself as one of the best leadoff hitters ever. And I can see it now. If Mookie came back and was batting second and started to struggle, everyone would be clamoring for a return to the leadoff spot. So I agree. But hey, it is fun to think about because of how fast he is and how dynamic of a base run he is. Okay, next big takeaway. And let us know down below in the comments section. I'll read a couple here, actually. Bonds was so intimidating roids. I like that. Rubio bleeds blue. Give you a finish him for that. We got he could stare a ball out of the park. I like that. Yeah. Barry Bonds, man. I think that he sacrificed what he did. He sacrificed his voice for all that power. Here, Barry Bonds is like basically Mike Tyson, the way the pitch his voice is. But Betts is overrated. Ohtani is way better. Okay, no Mookie Betts slander is tolerated here. So let me give that a bruh. We got, is it even a question now whether Ohtani will be the first ballot Hall of Famer? Golf Grouch. You can't just drop something that loaded because that's a 30-minute segment for me. So I'll get you that maybe later, but Shohei Ohtani will be a first ballot Hall of Famer in short, but got to dive into the numbers a little more on that one. Ohtani is a better leadoff. We got Mookie needs to be more unpredictable. He never swings at the first pitch. That's from 69. Look, part of the job of a leadoff hitter is to have strike zone recognition, to try to make the pitchers work. So look, Mookie had put together a great season offensively last year. He's done that this year. Had a little bit of a slump, but still he's one of the best players on the planet at the plate. But next big takeaway, and we got to give some love, right? Look, one thing about the show, we keep it 100, we keep it a buck, but we give credit when credit's due because we have talked about the bottom of the lineup all season long. The meme where you have the really nice horse at the beginning and then the end it looks terrible, and then there at the end it looks like it was drawn by a kindergartner. Well, that's changed. The bottom of the lineup had themselves a really good week, so they get a Let's Go Dodgers. Last week, the bottom of the lineup, they slashed 333, 405, 530. So anytime you're hitting over 300, anytime you have an on base over 400 and over 500 in the bottom of the lineup, you will take that. Okay, those are elite numbers in that part of the order. And most importantly, Shohei Ohtani after the first inning, in his 25 plate appearances, he had runners on base 13 of those 25 times. So that makes the case for Ohtani at the leadoff spot, because you're saying he gets those opportunities if the bottom of the lineup is turning over this lineup as they should. And you saw a couple instances on Friday where the Dodgers, the bottom of the 10th inning, you had one out, and you had a runner in scoring position trying to extend that game. What does Kike Hernandez do? He strikes out on 3 pitches. Gavin Lux struck out on 5 pitches. And you had Will Smith on deck, right? So these guys, they're going to have their good nights. They're going to have their bad nights. But having Gavin Lux hit his first home run since May 7th, having a multi-hit game, having Cavin Biggio have a couple of hits. Jason Hayward had the big grand slam against the Rockies last week. Austin Barnes had a big base hit. So as long as they continue to produce, that's going to help this lineup with Mookie Betts out. Now, do I think that they figured things out completely? I don't. But I do think for the time being, as we lead up to the trade deadline and they look to add another bat, they absolutely are getting the job done right now. Andy Pages was slumping. Some were asking for him to get sent down and bring back James Outman. Andy Pages got robbed the other night against the Angels, but he's started to really produce once again, and he's going nowhere. So shout out to the bottom of the line. Now, third big takeaway is Tyler Glasnow. It's time for the Glasnow conversation, because Tyler Glasnow is absolutely putting himself in a position where if he does not take extended time off, if he does stay healthy, he is going to win that NL Cy Young. If you look at his ratings right now, I bring my facts to the fight, a 2.88 ERA, that's 5th in the National League. Don't focus on that. Focus on the more important expected ERA, where he has a 2.37. That leads the National League. A 2.29 expected FIP, that's first. He has 135 strikeouts, that's first. A 35.2 strikeout rate, that's tops in the NLO. And then 100 innings pitched. So you look at that right there, that's second behind Logan Webb, and his 2.9 F4 is first. So all the advanced numbers, all the more traditional stats say that Tyler Glasnow has been elite. Tyler Glasnow has been the best trade of the offseason, in my opinion, because you not only traded for an ace, you traded for him and you extended him, and he's been durable and he's been dominant. Those are the two best Ds, right? Durable and dominant. And Tyler Glasnow has absolutely done that. Now, the big question I have, though, is I'm starting to get nervous. When I wake up at 3:30 in the morning in a cold sweat, this is what I've been thinking about lately. He's already at 100 innings, and we're not at the All-Star break. He's already made 16 starts, and we're not at the All-Star break. He is on pace to obliterate his career high, 21 starts in 120 innings. And they did not trade for Tyler Glasnow and give him a big extension to win a Cy Young, to start in the All-Star game, to make 30 starts and pitch over 200 innings. They did it to get 20 to 30 innings out of him in the postseason, to be that ace, that number one guy that this team, quite frankly, has lacked over the last couple of seasons, that can be that horse that can guide you through a postseason, like we saw from Steven Strasburg in 2019. A player that can say, you know what, my stuff is so good that it doesn't matter who's at the plate. My 98, 99 mile per hour fastball can blow by a hitter. He's throwing his curveball more lately, and that's a very positive sign, because when his curveball's right, it's a top 3 pitch in Major League Baseball, right? It's right there with Devin Williams' airbender as one of the best pitches as far as inducing swing and miss. And I think what the Dodgers need to strongly consider is a load management strategy. And you got to give a lot of credit for being very efficient through 71 pitches in his start against the Angels. Could have gone back out there, but he didn't. And I think that you're starting to see signs that they're saying, wow, he's being so durable that every time he's making his turn in the rotation, whether it be on extended rest or not, he's going out there and he's getting deep into games. And yes, that's what you want from your ace, but now you're thinking, wow, all of a sudden 100 innings for Tyler Glasnow. It's something that you want to strongly consider, because look, an 8.5 game lead in the division, you have to look at the depth of your rotation. Landon Knack came up, made a quality start. You have guys down there that you can mix and match. But I think you really need to factor in, is it going to be a phantom IL stint? Is it going to be missing a start, missing his turn in the rotation? Is it going to be having him a little bit on a innings limit, a pitch count, something of that variety? Because the last thing I want to see is Tyler Glasnow making 25, 30 plus starts in the regular season, throwing over 200 innings, and then fading when it matters most in the postseason, right? Because Tyler Glasnow, he's not looking gassed now, but he might look it later if they don't strongly consider it at the moment. Now, I've talked to pitchers. Noah's over there laughing. No, look at that. He's got a great smile, guys. Look at Noah.
That's funny.
Look at Noah over
That was
there.
funny.
Hey, James
That's
Worthy said he
now.
had
That
some
was
blue, beautiful eyes, right?
Nice eyes.
Nice eyes. He didn't say beautiful?
I mean, I could have asked him to say beautiful.
Yeah,
But
okay.
he said nice.
There we go. But look, the beautiful
Ron Butler, too. Okay.
Caron Butler, you said two different NBA. Interesting.
They like the eyes. I don't know.
Jeez,
What the eyes.
nice.
They're blue. They're Dodger blue.
They're Dodger blue, man. Good times. But yeah, so when it comes to Tyler Glasnow, just think that definitely is something they need to strongly consider. But look, the beauty of all this, he's been phenomenal. He's been great. And he's going to continue to dominate for this team. Now, speaking of Tyler Glasnow, I asked him after the game, what were his impressions of the Dodgers City Connect jersey? So that's our next big takeaway here is the Dodgers finally wore those City Connect jerseys. Let's hear what Tyler Glasnow had to say. Here was his reaction after the game. Hey, Tyler, what do you think of the City Connect?
I thought they were cool. I think up close, they're cooler than I thought. And I think all the stuff that came along with it, like the jackets and the shirts and stuff, are cool. They were comfortable.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
So when my mom saw that, she said that Tyler Glasnow needs to get into politics after his career is over, because that was the nicest way of saying, I mean, the funny thing is when he was saying that, when he told me, oh, they're cool, I saw Bobby Miller, I saw Walker Buehler and Kike Hernandez. They're kind of laughing on the side. So that kind of lets me know that the team had some mixed reactions towards it. Dave Roberts, he told us that they were fine and that he was a team player. So I think a lot of the players and the managers and the people associated with the team were kind of biting their tongue because, look, I want to point out something. I love the Los Angeles Dodgers. I love their uniforms. I love Dodger Stadium. I love Dodger dogs. I love Dodgers fans. I hate these uniforms, okay? I saw them in person, didn't change anything for me. They do look like Pop-Tarts. Well, in that case, they should put them in a toaster and burn them, okay? Look, I mean, they look like the DirecTV logo. They should go direct to clearance, okay? Like, I just don't love these uniforms. I know some people, they're like them, and I'm not judging you because it's fashion. It's all subjective. Me personally, the Dodgers deserve better, and I just think that there was no city connection. And I think some people didn't like the Los Dodgers, right? But guess what? The Los Dodgers on a blue jersey was more important as far as connecting to the city than these, because where is the connection to the Latino fan base, right? I mean, the Los Dodgers, I mean, that absolutely exemplifies and epitomizes that. So I love that. But like I said, Shohei Ohtani looked good in them. Glasnow pitched well in them. So I can live with them if they're getting dubs. But I can't wait. I was looking forward to hearing this opinion all weekend. So I know that Noel, Mr. Michelada half full. Yes, all right, noise by Noel. You saw him in a game. You saw him with the pants and the tops. What were your thoughts?
First off, they're undefeated in the new City Connect jersey era. Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, if they're winning, we can't be upset. With that being said, I do think that myself, along with a lot of other fans, once they saw them on TV, on the players, a lot of people were saying they weren't too bad. I'm sticking by my opinion. I'm still giving them like a 6 to 7 out of 10. But Doug, I'm telling you, when people don't like stuff, I am more prone to like it. I'm just that type of dude. Like, I mean, this is basketball. You got mad at me for liking DeMarcus Cousins a lot, just because everybody hates him. I like going with underdogs. What could I say?
You're lucky. I love you, man.
But I think they look a lot better. I don't think the confetti is as strong when you're seeing it on the field. I know you were there, so it might have been a little different. But
and you were right though. When you texted me about the hoodie, the hoodie was cool. The logo. Here's the thing. I think I was thinking about this on the way here. The ultimate sign of a great jersey is either one, the team never changes it, right? Yankees pinstripes, the birds on the bat with the Cardinals, Dodger blue with the beautiful red number, the cursive lettering, all that's perfect, right? When it's a classic, you don't change. That's the first sign. You know what the second sign is?
They shouldn't have to grow on you.
is, well, there's that, but also that when the team doesn't win that jersey anymore, you want them to throw back it, right? Oh, they should bring those back. Oh, bring back the Magic with the pinstripe, right? Bring back the Grizzlies jerseys, right? Bring back the old school 49ers jerseys, right? With the drop shadow. I mean, anytime you want a jersey throwbacked, that's when you know it's a great jersey. I guarantee you 50 or 60 years from now, there's not gonna be Dodgers fans, but hey, bring back those Funfetti jerseys. Bring back the Pop-Tart jersey. I don't think that's gonna happen. You still hear fans saying, bring back those powder blue Brooklyn jerseys, right? Look, I mean, look, guys, I try to be positive, you know what I'm saying? I try, but
They're really getting you mad this time. But this one got you. Look, I'm a jersey
fanatic, you know what I mean? Shout out to Fanatics, future sponsor. But
actually, speaking of the Los Dodgers one, I just bought the Cody Bellinger Los Dodgers. It's like $45 on Fanatics.
These are going to be on the clearance rack of the 99 cents. Actually, you know, and here's the thing too. I mean, yeah, look. The other thing that bothered me too is the back of the jersey. If it was a single digit number, like a Lux, it would have a 0 in that. And they kind of cut it off. But you know what though? Like I said, it's all winning is all that matters. Let's get some comments here. Uniforms look like for a Little League Chief. We got Powder Blue, yes. Pop-Tart Snow from Diane Schroeder. What up, Diane Schroeder? And we're both Dodgers fans. We got their Basura from Chris Frossaker. When will the DMAC bobblehead be available? Working on that. That's from R. Summers. One-Eyed Dragon. The worst thing about them is they look cheap. Look like they got them from Temu. Here's the other thing too I want to point out about these jerseys too. Like, this is a Nike thing, right? I just don't think the Dodgers were as heavily involved. I mean, Nike is behind this City Connect program with them. So look, I mean, I think that, like I said, you have to kind of also keep in mind that it's going to be fun. But what I kind of worry about is the Dodgers, they're the first team to get the second City Connect. They ain't going to get a third City Connect before every team gets a second City Connect. So they're going to be rocking these for a while, dude.
I think that's kind of weird too, is we're like in this like minimalist era where like stuff is kept so simple. And then, I mean, they went from a really simple City Connect, like just Los Dodgers, Dodger Blue, and now they threw like confetti all over, which is kind of weird, but.
Even you said confetti. I mean, what are we doing? Come on. Okay. But Enrique says the hat logo looks dope. LAD. Not that mad at it for sure. We got Kenny Chung, not throwing shade at anyone that gets those City Connect jerseys. It's not my money. However, they're atrocious in my opinion. I think one thing they achieved, and you got to give them credit for this, is at the very least, it got people talking. And sometimes that's the hardest thing. Sometimes the most important thing is, doesn't matter if you love them or hate them, but you have an opinion of them. So I'm going to actually hit up our friend Lupe at the Dodgers clubhouse in Universal City. I just want to see how they're selling. They might be flying out there. I saw a lot of people wearing them and a lot of people buying them. So that's the most important thing. And look, they say Otani on them. They have IT. It's time for Dodger baseball on the lower part. So it wasn't too terrible, but yeah, just not a big fan. But next big takeaway we're going to get into is Max Muncy was placed on the 60-day IL. 60-day IL for Max Muncy. The Dodgers moved him on the 60-day. That keeps him out until after the All-Star break at the earliest. Dave said that Muncy has been stir crazy, waiting for that injury to heal. And he's talked about how much this team needs him in the lineup, because this is not the same lineup without Max Muncy, because this is a run producer. This is a dangerous hitter. He was on pace for 36 home runs and 100 plus RBI. So anytime you lose a hitter that's going to hit 30 plus bombs and give you over 100 RBI, it's going to be sorely missed. And if you look at the numbers, the third basemen that have been filling in for him, Cavin, Biggio, Kike Hernandez, Miguel Rojas, they've combined to slash 152, 234, and 223 in 33 games. That's just not going to get it done. If you look at the Dodgers offense since Muncy has been out of it, when he was in the lineup, they averaged 5.27 runs per game. That was second in all of Major League Baseball. With him out of the lineup, they've been averaging 4.67 runs per game. That's 11th in Major League Baseball. Now, this isn't all just because of Max Muncy, right? You have different opponents, different pitchers, hitters slumping, Mookie Betts is out, but it does give you an idea of the thump that they're missing when you combine the runs per game with the lack of production. So I don't think that you got to go out there and make a bold move for a third baseman. I think that if Muncy was a pitcher and he was dealing with some shoulder issues or a forearm tightness or something like that, then I'd be overly concerned. I'd say, okay, you can't bank on him to come back, but I do think Max Muncy is going to be back, and it's almost going to feel like you traded for an impact bat. That's the beauty of this with Max Muncy, is that they miss him, but by the time he does get back, he'll have missed so much time that is going to feel like a big boost in the lineup. And my hope is that he gets back with a couple of months to get in a really nice groove for the postseason. This is someone that has an OPS that's almost at 900 in the postseason. Lots of postseason pops, so they're going to need him. Now, other big takeaway as far as the injury front, seventh biggest takeaway, is Clayton Kershaw experiencing some soreness. So we were at Rancho. My boy Antonio was losing his mind. My boy Antonio had an outer body experience when he saw Clayton Kershaw. I'm so happy he did not. He was so. How close were you to asking for an autograph or a selfie and just calling it a career?
I was thinking about it. I was risking it, but obviously
you'd risk it all.
I risk it all.
Talk about the moment when you were following him with the camera, and then you said, "Thanks, Kersh."
Oh man, so I was just getting B-roll of all the players in the dugout, just doing that traditional pan they teach you in college. And I was just following Kershaw all the way, and I got so close to him. I was probably like 2 feet away from him, and I was just like losing my mind, dude. It was an out of body experience, and I couldn't help it. And I just went up to him and I was like, "Thanks, Kersh." And he literally turned around, and just gave me like the weirdest look, like, and then just walked away. But
would you do it again? I don't know if that was the move.
It was not the move.
I don't know that. Yeah, that's. I'm not. And also, you were skipping after.
I was definitely.
He doesn't remember it, but he was an adult man skipping on a baseball field, which I actually love, and I love that about you, man. Because just do you, Antonio. Never change, man.
Wait, what about make some noise?
Oh man, I was getting the crowd going.
The crowd was getting hyped. Yeah.
So great. So many great people out there. So it's such a treat to meet all of them.
Dodgers fans were loving Tony Taters, man. He was loving it out there. But when it comes to Clayton Kershaw, we talked to him after the start, and things were seemingly going right. He did have some shoulder soreness, though. He did experience some shoulder soreness, and Dave Roberts told reporters when he was asked about Clayton Kershaw, for me, it's talking to him, talking to the training staff, and making sure he feels good to make play catch. Reverse those words out there. If he feels good tomorrow, great. If he doesn't, then we'll just keep kicking the can down the road until he's ready. So he's saying as long as he's good to make catch play, which was supposed to be for Sunday, then things are going to continue to trend in the right direction. Now, if you look at where his rehab status is right now, he's going to need another 2 to 3 more starts just to ramp himself up to get to those 4 and 5 innings at the big league level. So he needs more rehab starts. The question is he going to have any major setbacks? Because he's supposed to start Tuesday in Reno. Does that get pushed back? We'll find out today. I mean, that's one of the things we'll learn from Dave Roberts shortly after this show is the status of Clayton Kershaw, because I know people that bought tickets to see him on Tuesday in Reno. I was even mapping it to see if I should drive there just because I got no life, and I thought maybe I should just go to Reno to see Kersh and have some more, close-up one-on-one time with Clayton Kershaw. Maybe Tony would go there to ask us some questions after his warm-up, which is way, but I hope he's going to be okay. Dave Roberts also said we have time, and that's the thing for us. You have to defer to Clayton and the training staff most importantly. So this could be a nothing burger, right? This could be just normal soreness after your first start in a long, long time. But when you consider that it was the glenohumeral ligaments, it was the capsule surgery, it's on his shoulder. So that's where he hurt himself. So hopefully everything's okay. I do think that Clayton Kershaw is going to come back and factor into this rotation, but I also think that you absolutely, if you think you need another starting pitcher, you cannot be shy this time around. We can't go out there and get the Lance Lynn types if you want to be serious about winning the World Series, if you don't think the guys are going to come back and have a big impact on this team. Now, next big takeaway, number 9. Chris Taylor is CT 385 for his last 6 games. Chris Taylor hitting 385 in his last 6. He's 5 for his last 13 with a home run and a triple. He went 4 for 8 on the week. He hit his first home run of the year against the Royals the Friday before last. He said after the game that he didn't think or know he was going to even do that again. So that tells you where he was at mentally. But I think we're seeing a big change in Chris Taylor. He's seeing more pitches. The pitch recognition is significantly improved from what we saw earlier in the season. The at-bat quality is stronger. Just one strikeout in his last 13 at-bats. And whether you think that Chris Taylor is going to turn things around completely, whether you think that Chris Taylor should be off this team, I think it's apparent at this point that he's still going to be in good standing with this organization. I mean, we'll see what happens when Muncy returns. We'll see what happens with some of the other players that are on the fringes of this roster, like the Miguel Vargas types, but it was always going to take a lot for Chris Taylor to get DFA'd because they still owe him around $22 million. He has been a fixture in that Dodgers clubhouse for so many years. He's clutch Taylor when it matters most. Taylor is real. We saw that in 2021, but at this point, I think it's safe to say that he is not going to be DFA'd. And of course, with his 5 years of service time, he can't be sent down. So he's going to be on your Dodgers. So just hope and pray that he's going to continue to trend in the right direction and make the most of his opportunities, because he's not getting a ton of opportunities. But the good thing is he's making the most of the ones he's getting right now. So instead of hoping he's going to get DFA'd, instead of thinking they should trade him, no team's going to trade for him unless the Dodgers are paying 90% of that contract. Hope that he just gets better, because that's how he can help this team. And look, usually players, yes, Father of Time is undefeated, but it's in there somewhere. It's just about kind of getting somewhere in between the all-star version of Chris Taylor and the one that we saw this season that has been struggling. Now, next big takeaway is Cavin Biggio. So Cavin Biggio, I see people out there that are clowning Cavin Biggio, saying that the apple fell far from the tree with his dad, Craig Biggio, who's a Hall of Famer. I'm saying I'm seeing people out there. Those people are cold, right? Those people are trying to do a finish, right? But I'm here to tell you that it's not something to worry about, because he's not the long-term answer, right? They didn't bring in Cavin Biggio because they thought, okay, he is going to be on the postseason roster, right? He's going to be the next Justin Turner, Chris Taylor, Max Muncy, guy that is a reclamation project that turned out to be an impact player. He's not going to be that guy. He's 5 for 21 with 8 strikeouts, no extra base hits. Last week, he was 3 for 11, hit 273 with no extra base hits and 5 strikeouts. He's taking too many pitches for strikes. That's his Achilles heel. It's always been since 2021. No one's been rung up on called strike threes more than Cavin Biggio, but it's not something to worry about, because he was brought in to play third base along with Kike Hernandez with Max Muncy out. Now, if Max Muncy were to miss the remainder of the season, yes, Cavin Biggio at third would be a major concern, because he really is not a true third baseman. He's more like a second baseman that's kind of masquerading as a utility guy. But look, you saw the costly error he had in Bobby Miller's start. It's definitely a concern right now, but that's why you have a lead in your division, right? You can supplement that elsewhere. So don't get overly concerned about the Cavin Biggio situation. Hopefully it happens. Hopefully he performs better, but right now it's just not happening for him at the plate. Now, next big takeaway is the Dodgers, a little boomer bust, man. A little too boomer bust for my liking. It's a trend we see every year. The Dodgers are 8-18 when they don't hit a home run. That's good for a .308 win percentage. Major League Baseball's win percentage when you don't hit a home run is .328. So it's even lower than that. And they're 12-10 when they hit one home run. So that's kind of been the staggering one to me. So in the past, the one home run was a better tell. Now they're just 2 games above 500 when they hit one home run. Now they are 28-3 when they hit 2 or more home runs for a .903 win percentage. So yeah, when you hit multiple home runs, they're the best team ever. But when they hit no home runs, they're essentially the Miami Marlins. Okay. So kind of think about that. It almost simplifies the Dodgers viewing experience as a fan. Is they don't leave the yard, they're a last place team. So that needs to change. And I think that that's one thing that needed to strongly consider when it comes to the lineup construction and lengthening the lineup. Like I said, Freddie Freeman at cleanup, Will Smith batting third, or Teoscar batting third. Are you moving things around? Andy Paz continuing to progress. The 7, 8, 9 hitters continuing to trend in the right directions, because you can't, I always say, you guys know, wise man once said that if you want the dub, you got to slug, right? But you can't have that in the postseason. You can't win every game like that in the postseason. Need to be a little scrappy, need to be a little gritty in those situations. And I think that's something that you need to emphasize here for the Dodgers, because we've seen that movie before. We know how it ends, and it isn't pretty. So there's that. You just can't have that. A little too boomer bust right now. Now, last big takeaway before we get into an awesome social segment with our social media guru, Noel, and the rest of the fellas, is a trade update for Garett Crochet. So, John Heyman said about Garett Crochet's availability, Crochet kind of iffy to be traded from what I'm gathering. I think Robert may have more of a chance than Crochet to be traded. So, first things first, Crochet is going to be one of the crown jewels at the trade deadline if he's truly going to be dealt. A 3.25 ERA, his 35.2 strikeout rate is identical to Tyler Glasnow, an 88 and 2/3 innings pitched, right? He's definitely put together a really nice season, right? 3.25 ERA, 35.2 strikeout rate, 88 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's pitched very well this season. He's been dominant this season. You're going to get a firsthand glimpse of that tonight. But why would the White Sox trade him? Well, I'll make the case for that. Let's pretend I'm talking to Chris Getz, the GM of the White Sox. Well, he's under control through 2026. Well, guess what? White Sox, you're not going to be contending by then, okay? Don't think you're the Diamondbacks who lost 110 games in 2021, then made it to the World Series a couple years after. That's not who you are, right? You are down to the foundation there. It's a down to the studs, almost down to the foundation rebuild in Chicago. And you're not going to extend Garett Crochet. And if he leaves in free agency, are you going to let him walk for nothing? Remember, free agency and extensions are a two-way street. The player has to want to be at that organization, at that franchise. Do they want to do that? It's always up in the air. But Garett Crochet's case, I'd probably venture to say that he probably doesn't love pitching for a losing organization. So Chris Getz, any prospects that you get, they're going to be under team control for 6 to 7 years, and that will take you to your team's next competitive window. Another reason why you would want to trade him, Chris Getz, sell high, right? Sell high. If you trade Garett Crochet now, his value is going to be an all-time high, especially with Jesus Luzardo dealing with injury issues in Miami. Not a ton of marquee starting pitchers are going to be available at the deadline. And there's so many contenders with the expanded postseason. If you look where the wild card races are, if you look at the top teams that need starting pitching, you could get a lion's share for the rest of this season and 2 years of team control for Garett Crochet. The return would be massive, and you would sell him on a high. Like I said, he's pitched 88 and 2/3 innings this season. You know what his previous career high was? It was 65. Did that happen with the White Sox? No. That was when he was pitching for the Tennessee Volunteers. Okay? That was when he was in college. Okay? So you're pitching at a rate, if you're Garett Crochet, where you're not going deep into seasons. You're kind of unknown. You're in uncharted waters. And he pitched a grand total of 12 games in the minors. So he's going to be a big-time risk for any team. But he does make sense for the Dodgers in that, one, they have the depth to be able to manage him, skip starts, you can shut him down, you can do whatever you need to do to get him to a place where you think that he's optimized for the postseason. And then two, imagine that combination, a power righty in Tyler Glasnow, and then your game 2 starter is a power lefty that has an identical strikeout rate. Him and Tyler Glasnow are both strikeout hitters at a 35.2% clip. That's tied for the major league lead. So unless you are 100% convinced that Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to return and he's going to return to form and pitch like he was before he went down with the injury, I think the Dodgers absolutely need to add another starting pitcher. Now, Garett Crochet would be the top option if you could get him. You would have to give up a lot of top prospects, at least 2 to 3 top 10 guys, possibly 2 top 5 guys to get someone of Garett Crochet's caliber. And it's a major risk for the Dodgers because, like I said, he doesn't have a long history or track record of even being a starting pitcher. This is his first time as a starting pitcher at the big league level this season. But I'll also say that the concern about him coming off at TJ could be looked at as a pro by the Dodgers. Remember, this is the same organization that was able to draft Walker Buehler when they did because he was coming off of Tommy John surgery. I think the Dodgers, they're a smart organization, right? These guys are led by some of the brightest baseball minds on the planet. They know that it's a formality to undergo at least one Tommy John for 1/3 to 40% of pitchers these days. It happens. But also, the way that surgery has progressed, these guys get back to where they were. I think Garett Crochet is young enough to be worth rolling the dice. I do think that if you could get a Jack Flaherty on a cheaper price with less prospect capital, I would still consider that. But hey, take a long look at Garett Crochet tonight. Nando 390. What up, Nando? D-Mac, what about trading for Kikuchi? Kikuchi is definitely a really nice option too. We're going to drop our big board top 30 Dodgers trade targets. He's on that list. I'm not going to reveal where he is. Look for that later this week, but he's definitely on there. But now we're going to dive into some social stuff with my man, Mr. Noel Sanchez. Now, if you guys don't know Noel Sanchez, definitely follow him at Noise by Noel. He is behind our Instagram, the Top Dodgers Instagram, right? I mean, he's cooking up those reels. He's cooking up all those posts. He is the man behind that, and he's always checking out the latest and greatest stuff. What you got for me today, though?
Hey, appreciate you having me on the show today, D-Mac. Been a fun one so far.
Well, you're always on the show.
I mean, I know, but like we're having an official social media segment today.
Oh, I feel it.
We planned it out, you know, so it's going to be fun. We're going to get more of these popping, but for you guys in the comments, make sure you guys hit us up on Instagram, on Twitter, comment, DM, anything that you want featured on the show that we might miss on social media, and we'll make sure to give you guys a good shout out. But first up, we're going to talk about the Dodgers celebration because there's been a new one kind of trending going around from a rapper named Remble. He popped out to Kendrick Lamar's pop-out show that he had last week. And, you know, the Not Like Us track has been going crazy. I know you bump it like 5 times on your drive here, Doug. That's how you start off your morning every day. So it's taking over the city of LA. But Remble, he did like a certain new dance that's going crazy on social media. And I saw one person on Twitter say that it should be the Dodgers' new Selly. I know Antonio has the clip, so we're going to show you it, Doug, see what you think, and everybody in the comments.
So first on that is you got to make sure you get the timeout, because if you don't get the timeout, my worry is you can slide off the base and they'll tag you and it'll go as an out, right? No, but I think I mean, look at me. I mean, I don't have a modicum of rhythm, but I'm trying to like do it. Good. Is it? I don't know. Let me see you do it, Noel. You can probably do it better than me.
See it again? He's like,
it's cool. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's cool. I think it would kind of point out that kind of the Dodgers have their ear to the streets, right? That the Dodgers are paying attention to this stuff. And they're kind of embracing the whole Kendrick Lamar defeat over Drake, right? So, I mean, I'm down with it. I mean, we'll see. I think that this stuff kind of has to happen organically. So you need that one guy who wants to do it and do it right. So let's say if Kike is the first guy to hit a double and make this happen, I think get off to a right start. But if like Will Smith is the first guy to do it and tries to pull it off, I'm not so sure. My favorite hit celebration is when their feet touches home plate. You know what I mean? And you're scoring runs. No, that's the kind of celebration I like. But
I like that.
Tonio, you like it though? Like the new Selly?
Tony hit it earlier. He was going crazy. He hit it. Nice.
Hit it.
I'm not going to do it right now. Come on now. Don't put me on the spot like that. I mean, it's pretty chill.
I like that.
I like it better than the one now, to be honest. So I think it's time for a change.
Yeah, someone in the comments, like you were saying, Doug, someone in the comments when I posted on Instagram, they said that not enough players on the Dodgers have rhythm to hit this. So I was like, damn, that's
as long as they're in rhythm at the plate, right?
Exactly.
I mean, like,
but all right, but
I like this. Golf Grouch says the Elaine Bennis dance is better. The kicks.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually watched the episode over the weekend, but look, I'm all for it. I think that I am a little kind of tired of the Dragon Ball Z one. I mean, because you know, here's the thing. It's even if it's a great celebration, like sometimes it feels like they get the hit and they're like, oh, I got to do it. Yeah. When it's new and fresh, they like look forward to doing it. Yeah. Like I remember when they first started the Freddie to me still is right at the top as the best celebration because the fans all did it. Yeah. Like if you saw on the road, you would see them doing it on the side, right?
After they won the division, then all the shot of the fans doing in the crowd with them, that was fun.
It was really cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could count to 3 and they all do the Dragon Ball Z charge up right there. But yeah, I mean, I think they definitely need something new. I definitely think they need something new.
Well, that's awesome. I think hopefully we do see something new soon when October gets closer. But moving on, a major Japanese electronics retail store by the name of Yodobashi Camera, they have a huge Ohtani display in one of their stores right now. And basically they partnered up with Seiko, which is a watch brand, and they have a home run counter that is updated every time Ohtani goes deep. I thought that was super cool. I saw this on Reddit. Shout out to you, Doug, for putting me on Reddit. A lot of good stuff is going on over there in the Dodgers section. I mean, what do you think about the setup and the show meter up there in the top right?
I love it. I love it because it just goes to show that they find any way to embrace Shohei Ohtani. I mean, the In-N-Out Burger thing that you posted last week, I mean, it's all Ohtani 24/7, 365. It's Ohtani time 24 hours a day. So this is another example of that. You look at the endorsement there, Seiko, right? I mean, kind of want to see him with Rolex. You know what I mean?
I mean, that would be awesome.
Kind of want to see him with
Rolex out.
You know, something like that. But yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, I think that it's tough for us to fathom the star power he is. I mean, here in this country, I view him because we're just so tied to the baseball world as someone who's up there with the LeBron Jameses, right? With the Tom Brady's and the Patrick Mahomeses, right? Sure, he kind of is, but I think baseball as a sport isn't as popular as the NFL. I still think he takes a back seat to no one, but you go to Japan. They did a poll in Japan where they asked who's the famous person in the country. 100% of the people said Shohei Ohtani.
100%.
Okay, if you do that here, people would be like Taylor Swift. I mean, who else would they say? I mean, they would have a couple of different names, but there's no one that would come close to the entire country saying 100%.
That is crazy,
right? I mean, it's tough to fathom. I mean, a country of over 100 million people, it's just unbelievable when you think about his fandom. So it's really cool. And like I said, anytime you can always tell too, when it's special for certain Dodgers fans that aren't at every game, like Japanese fans and the connection they have with him. So he's huge. He's massive. I mean, just being around the Japanese media, they're there to cover him, right? I mean, it could be like the craziest moment for the Dodgers. If it could be Otani, it could be Mookie Betts hitting his 8th grand slam of the game, and their camera would be on Ohtani doing sunflower seeds. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely goes to show that.
I hope we see many more displays like this, but moving on to the final social media segment of today. I know that we've been talking about the City Connect jerseys for about a month now since the leaks came out. We finally saw them in action. Like I said, they're undefeated in the City Connect era. But Doug, I know you're not a huge fan of them. So I found some talented Dodger fans that got to work and they made their own versions of City Connect jerseys. One of them was from our friend over at Blue Heaven Media. Another one was a user on Reddit that I need to grab his name. But they're over there on the screen. What do you think about both of these, Doug?
So the first thing I want to say about both of these is I always see this with jerseys on Twitter. There's always that person that like posts something that's better than what the team did. Why doesn't that person like get the job to make the jersey? You know what I mean? It's I don't understand, but I do kind of like this one to the left because I like the gradient. I like the callback to that powder blue look, the skyline. I mean, it kind of reminds me of a Dodgers version of what the Toronto Blue Jays did. And I definitely think that incorporating the palm trees is something they should have done, especially when you have the three sisters in the bullpen at Dodger Stadium. That's something I would have done. It's not something that I think would cause a lot of controversy, though. Right. And I think that's kind of something they kind of wanted, not as polarizing. The ones to the right are a little too Navy for my liking. Right. I mean, I'm getting some like Texas Rangers vibes, kind of the Blue Jays vibes, but definitely pretty clean. Definitely pretty clean. I think they're an upgrade to the dusk one that we saw in the actual ones they went. But yeah, really cool stuff. What are your thoughts on them, though, guys?
What do you guys think, Tony, Noah?
Dude, the Yamamoto one looks like Space Force. Like it just reminds me of outer space. I think it looks cool. I do like the left one though. I like the palm trees too. Like
let's be real, Tony likes it because Kershaw's on there. That's like
Kershaw on there.
I'm a fanboy. What can I say? But the left one for sure. I wish they rocked something a little more like that, or even like they could have brought the Los Dodgers back. Dodgers. No, I can't even say it real. They should put the Y. They should go all the way Los Dodgers.
Yeah, I've seen some people say that. Some people are against that, and Nike actually does own the patent for that.
Oh,
but we'll see. You know what's crazy? I think it would have knocked it out of the park. You see what the Clippers did a couple years ago with the Mr. Cartoon in the Old English.
Yeah.
Let's say the Clippers hadn't done that, right? And the Dodgers were the first two Mr. Cartoon and a Dodgers jersey, and they had the Old English. Those literally would not be on any rack today.
No, they'd
be 100% sold out. Literally, people would be lining up if they were black with blue. I mean, I always say, you don't want to go black for the sake of black as far as jerseys because people just kind of do it. But I think that would be pretty fire. But yeah.
No, what do you think about the two jerseys that we just saw?
I really like that light blue Blue Kershaw one. I always feel like baby blue is nice with the Dodgers, like to have like an alternate in like that light blue color. So I personally would have liked that one. I do like that little silhouette on the bottom with like, you know, the LA skyline. That one I think definitely would have flown off shelves and would have been a fire darty outfit for sure.
Fire team. Yeah, shout out Blue Heaven Media and shout out the artist that made the Yamamoto custom jersey. We're going to find your user and give you a shout out soon.
We got Crochet auditioning tonight. That's a comment of the show. That's from our guy Arnawi over there. We got Kelly Oshiro talking about Yoshi's status. He's not on the IL, but I see on Colorado against the Angels. I miss his presence. Yeah, really no new information on Yoshi from what it's been. We got Keep Shohei at leadoff. Need the left, right, left configuration. Did anyone see the Cincinnati Reds, what they did? Brought in a lefty to start a game, potentially neutralizing one at bat per game. I did see that. Young Mashubi, really interesting stuff, and that's very innovative. Now, we're going to end the show a little week ahead. You got the Dodgers tonight. James Paxton, really nice start in Colorado. Best start of the season against the Rockies in Colorado. So very impressive stuff for Paxton, his last outing. Going up against Garett Crochet tonight in Chicago, 5:10 start Pacific time. Then Tuesday, you got Miller versus Flexen. And then Wednesday, Stone versus Fetty. All 5:10 starts. Thursday, the Dodgers have off. And then next weekend, they head to San Francisco. A 7:15 start. Knack versus Webb. Saturday, got Tyler Glasnow versus TBA. Then Sunday, a 1:05 start. Paxton versus TBA. So you got 7:15 to 4:15 Saturday start on Fox, by the way, national game. Then Sunday, you have a 1:05 p.m. SNLA game. We'll see what those matchups are. This week, I got the Dodgers. They have them going 4-2. Another 4-2 week for LA. The White Sox is going to be their World Series. The Giants is absolutely going to be their World Series, especially when you consider the Hawaii beat LA shirts are given out. We'll roast them again for that.
The Mickey Mouse ears.
And the Mickey Mouse ears. And the Mickey Mouse ears. Yeah, it's
different giveaways.
But I mean, it's a weird thing tonight because Crochet, it's like if he gets rocked, it's like, okay, you know, D-Mac went to Crochet and he gets rocked, right? So I'm not saying I'm rooting for Crochet, but I mean, like, obviously, could be one they could lose. They lose one to the Giants. Noah Cameras, I'm gonna go to you first. Record for the Dodgers this week.
I mean, call me a fanboy. Going 5-1.
Going 5-1.
5-1. I think they're gonna sweep these lowly White Sox, and I think they'll take 2 from the Giants. I think they're going to win on the Mickey Mouse night. I think they're going to win on the Hawaiian shirt night because, you know, they have to.
They got to. They got to. Absolutely. They're going to absolutely take that personally. How about you, Noel? I can guess this.
Yes, I'll take it.
6-0.
6-0, baby.
6-0. Break out the broom streak. Yeah, honestly.
Come on now.
Honestly, the Giants cleaning crew can leave early because the Dodgers are going to be doing the sweeping.
Doug,
so how about you, Antonio?
Wait, Doug, real quick. If the Dodgers go 6-0, you have to wear one of your jerseys to the next show. You haven't worn a jersey in a while.
I'll rock a jersey.
That's right.
I'll rock a jersey.
Right. Air shake. Air handshake.
How about if the Dodgers go 6-0 this week, I will buy a City Connect jersey and wear it on the show.
All right, you guys. Hey, you got.
I will do it. Yes, I'll probably be throwing up the whole time.
The comments,
but I will do it.
Know that, Doug.
Make sure everybody.
I will do it. A shoey. I owe him a shoey. I owe him a shoey. I was on some antibiotics, couldn't drink for a while, so I got some shoeys to make up for it. Robert Maxwell says 6-0. How about you, Tony Taters? What do you got?
I'm going to say 4-2, but I got a bold take. I'm going to say a Dodger player. I don't know which one is going to go for the cycle in San Francisco.
Whoa! Oh my goodness.
San Francisco.
Yeah, cycle since Cody Bellinger, 2017 in Miami.
I just feel it. I don't know where it's coming from, but I feel it. So that's my pick.
Wow.
Respect that.
Wow. That's big time
Triples
stuff.
alley, baby.
That's big time stuff. That's big time stuff.
It's going to be Shohei. It's going to be anybody. Let's be real.
I mean,
what if it's Chris Taylor?
What if it's Chris Taylor? But yeah, that'd be special stuff. But that's gonna do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation, Dodgers Dugout Live. We got 6-0, and D-Mac does a body shot off Noah. Okay, you're getting a bro. You're getting a bro, but fine. Great show today. Longtime Dodger fan from Arnoe. We got 5-1 Shohei going into McCovey Cove. Yeah, I got Shohei hitting another 3 bombs this week. 3 bombs for Shohei. And 1 walk-off for the Dodgers this week. I'm getting some more walk-off magic. You see some close games. Not on the road. So you're going to have a game-winning hit late in the game. They're going to be trailing in the 9th. Teoscar Hernandez, a double is going to tie it. And you're going to have a go-ahead shot by Jason Hayward. That's very specific.
Love that.
We got that
In San Francisco.
off topic a
game
little
winner.
bit from Dodgers. Are you ready for that JJ Redick introduction press conference in like?
They didn't fire him yet. He's still the coach for now. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Couple walk-off shots here. We got 5-1 from Time and Again. Triples Alley from One Eyed Dragon. June Gloom is gone from Craig Osterberg. Thanks for the weather update, Craig. We got same if the Dodgers go 6-0. We got Biggio Player of the Week from Sammy Boy Smith. I'm going Ohtani. As long as it's June, it's going to be Shohei Ohtani. He's going to be my Player of the Week. Maybe we'll do some weekly predictions next Monday. But that's going to do it for this episode. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Comment Go Tani down below so you're eligible for our next giveaway at 95K. Working on some giveaways up until then, so don't forget about that. And that's going to do it for this episode. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.